How to launch any creative product in 21 days without tech skills or talent. If you are starting a second career or a side project, a side hustle, or you're unsure about how to talk about your creativity, or every single launch you've done resulted in crickets, then this one decision will change everything. It's the most important video I've ever made. And I know it works because I've exhibited my art throughout the world, done a ton of launches myself, some which resulted in tens of thousands of dollars in a single weekend. This one concept will change everything. And I learned it when I went to a conference. So I go to this conference and there's one particular workshop that I desperately want to attend. It's the most important one on the conference. There's one problem. I kind of missed my alarm clock. And so now I'm running late. I arrive at the conference door of this particular workshop. And what do I see? 50 people that cannot get in anymore. And so it quickly dawns on me that I'm just not going to get in as well. And so I start to be frustrated and a little bit complaining about myself. Like, well, how can you be so unorganized? Come on, this was the one thing that you had to participate in. And as I'm thinking that, I look to the left and I see that there's a badge laying on a table that looks kind of professional. And so without thinking about it, I go to the table, I grab the badge, put it around my neck, and go to the front of the line and say to the staff member, I'm quickly going to check inside to see if there are any no-shows so that we can allow some more people in. Now, at this point, my heart is pounding in my chest. Will she see that I'm a complete and utter fraud, pretending to be part of the staff members? And she responds, I think that's a great idea. And she opens the door for me. And so I go inside, I look, and people are sitting on the ground. The conference or the workshop didn't start yet. And so I quickly go outside. I'm full of excitement, full of adrenaline, like, wow, this is working tremendously well. And so I go outside and I say, yeah, we can let in like 2, 3, 4 more people. I think 4 is good. I'll guide them inside. And she selects 4 people. We go inside. I put the badge off. And as I'm putting the badge off and put it on the table there, I see that this was not a staff member badge at all. It was a cleaning badge from the building, not even an official badge. This is the power of authority. Authority is so powerful that it gives you the ability to guide other human beings in a way that they will do exactly as you tell them to do. And it is so much more powerful that it overrides any type of talent. For example, if you look at doctors, 24% of doctors are morbidly obese. They clearly don't have talent. This is according to stats that I found online in the UK. Okay, they clearly don't have talent when it comes to losing weight. Everybody can visually see that they don't know anything about losing weight, but because they have a degree and a white coat, those same people that are obese and struggling with that will gladly follow their advice and take Ozempic, which obviously doesn't even fucking work. That's the power of authority. If you understand how to use it correctly, if you understand how to deploy it in a creative business without looking like a douchebag, because if you do it the wrong way, then it backfires and you actually create less results than you would otherwise create if you use it properly. So let's solve all of this, give you the perfect authority-driven pre-launch sequence, because at this moment you've spent months on building your new launch sequence. You have put a website up. You put all of your art on the website. You put all of your music on the website. You wrote the SEO and spent tons of time on making the best descriptions, the best landing page, the best everything. You even went as far as to put a buying button on that same website instead of just having a portfolio thing. Yes, you figured out the tech. You figured it out. Spent so much time. You even gave yourself a $200-300 ad budget for this launch, because that's what all the professional entrepreneurs are doing. They're putting like ad budgets in and all of that stuff. And so you gave yourself that. You have 2-3 posts ready for the launch. Not just that, you also understand that positive thinking matters. You've read Joe Dispenza's books, and so now you're like positively envisioning the amazing launch that you will be getting and how you will be blowing up. And then you press launch. You launch the posts, you launch the website, you launch the ads. And what happens? Crickets. Nobody shows up. Nobody is there. Nobody cares about the project. And perhaps you even get one or two sales, but it's to people that you already know. So that doesn't really count. And even then, two sales with months of work feels like zero sales. It feels like zero sales. And months of work actually feels like decades of work because from 20 to 40, you learn the skill sets, or 20 to 50, that you're now using to do this launch. And so that actually also counts. It's decades of work. And as you're refreshing the analytics page over and over every 30 minutes to see that 3 more people went to the website or 2 more people went to the website, you realize that maybe you have the right ideas, the right creativity, but you don't know how to communicate those ideas. Maybe you have the brain of an artist, not that of a marketer. Maybe you simply don't know how to communicate the value of your creative projects like a marketer would. Well, I'm here to tell you that what really happened to your launch is that you treated it like a light switch, on and off. All of the preparation, no communication, then turn it on, boom, and hope for the best. This is not how it works. A launch is a dimmer dial that you slowly turn up, that you slowly increase the power of. It is like seduction. All women want to have sex, but none of them want to feel like a hooker. All art collectors want to buy, but none of them want to feel like an IKEA customer. And so the pre-launch sequence is all about that play of seduction. That play of seduction that makes life enjoyable for the people that are consuming your content. So I will be giving you the perfect system for building that authority in a natural way that actually works, that actually is very powerful. But first, let's go over the simple launch formula, basically, that people, that successful launchers, successful businesses are using. So every launch is composed of 3 elements. You have the pre-launch sequence. Actually, you have the pre-launch sequence as well, but let's simplify it for now. Pre-launch, launch, and then post-launch. During the pre-launch, you want to play that seduction game. You want to use all of the psychological triggers that you could possibly use to generate the necessary feelings within your potential customers before the launch happens. Feelings. Why feelings? Because feelings determine everything. Every human being makes decisions based on feelings, not based on rational thought, not based on rational arguments. If you put people on a brain scan, when they are making decisions, you will see that the limbic system fires up first, the system that is responsible for emotional processing, and then afterwards the prefrontal cortex lights up, aka justifies the emotions that are being created. So the pre-launch sequence is all about creating feelings within humans. The psychological principles that you want to be deploying during that pre-launch are building anticipation, showing authority, which is what we are going to talk about and give you the perfect system. Use the effort heuristic, create micro commitments, create scarcity, create urgency, which is not the same thing. Use social proof. And then number 8, use reciprocity. Reciprocation. If you install all of those things in your pre-launch sequence, then your launch is always going to blow up. This is not a tech setup. This is not an ads thing. This is not a 21st century thing. This is a thing that has been going on for thousands of years. Psychology never changes. We use psychology because it is eternal. And this is not something that psychologists have made up. This was invented or discovered thousands of years ago and will be used thousands of years from now as well. If you, for example, go to 100 girls and you don't play the seduction thing and you simply ask them to come over to your place, you will get a 0 out of 100 results. If you would use a micro commitment strategy and you instead would say, hey, you want to drink a coffee? You might get 31 out of 100 results or 22. That's 22 times better with one of the psychology principles that we've outlined here. So, how do you use authority? After decades of work, after spending a whole lifetime and have nothing, between brackets, nothing to show for that. How do you then still generate authority? You should have created authority already, right? So there's no authority left anymore. Well, here's the thing. I was working with a artist from Australia. And as I was preparing for the coaching sessions, I watched her videos. And in the coaching sessions, she said to me that she had made hundreds of artworks around water lilies. That came to a surprise. I didn't knew that. I watched her videos and I did not know that she made this many water lily paintings. Not just sketches, over 100 paintings. Imagine that. The only artist that I could come up with that had a similar type of track record is Monet. And so I asked her, how can your followers, because she was also making videos around water lily paintings, right? How can your followers know that? How did you communicate that? She said, well, I don't know. I don't think I've said that. I don't think I've said that because I didn't thought it was relevant. Now, this is a very powerful thing. I came to the realization that the far majority of people that are watching, that have spent decades in their lives already, they're over 40. All of those people already have massive amounts of authority that they simply don't categorize as authority. They simply don't categorize it as such. They don't think it is worthy of mentioning, but all of them already had that, just like she had that. And so I recommended her to start all of those painting videos with water lilies with a simple line. I've made hundreds of water lily paintings with some visuals of all the water lily paintings that she was going to create to generate that authority. Now, this is not winning awards. This is not gallery representation. This is not massive amounts of sales. This is not exhibiting throughout the world with all sorts of arts. No, it's just simply making a particular amount of art within a particular category that generates the authority that you need to come over in a very natural way as somebody that can guide you when it comes to water lily paintings or flower paintings in general. So, for everyone that is watching, I want you to answer the following question for yourself. And actually, two questions. I want you to answer this question for us, the community. What is the biggest challenge that you are facing when it comes to launching your creative projects? Put it in the comments or click the link in the description and vote for the name of my new project that is coming in 2 weeks. And then you also have a section where you can add it, but you can also just put it in the comments. Now, the question that I want you to ask for yourself is the following question. What is something that I could give a presentation on right now if Dries would throw me in front of 2,000 people without preparation? The answer to that question will show you in what areas you have authority. Will show you in what areas you have natural authority that you can use in your launches. Now, in order to make this video complete, we should be talking about some of the other launch strategies that I briefly mentioned in this video, but we're not going to do that because I already did in another video that will be linked in the end screen. That said, don't forget, click the link in the description and get the hell out of here.